All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I would like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Marla Billinghurst. I will be chairing the panel this morning. On the panel with me are Mr. Doug Marks and Mr. Larry Robinson. Representing the assessment department is Ms. Jennifer Nichols, and the administrative personnel this morning is Ms. Sally Caulfield. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process this morning, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish, and once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today, and the session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 4 and item 6 on our docket this morning. Ms. Caulfield, please affirm the assessor's and the applicant's testimony. Thank you.
Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Jennifer Nichols.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Madam Chair, did you want me to affirm Mr. Ondiak even though he is item number 2?
You know what, why don't we can start with item number 1 and then bring him back and affirm him when it's his turn.
All right, Mr. Ondiak, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. It shouldn't be long.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. The first matter we will be hearing on this morning's docket is 318 Oxford Street. Ms. Nichols, please proceed when you are ready.
Okay, thank you. So the subject property is 318 Oxford Street. Roll number is 1204-1811-000. This property is located in River Heights. the two-story property built in 1923 has had some renovations. So you see an effective year built of 1943, living area of 2,299 square feet with a full basement, which is finished, and no detached structures for this property. The current 2023 assessment value is $572,000. And so the comparables that I've brought today are all in the same area, all two-story properties, all have similar levels of renovation to the subject property, all are close in square footage, have finished basements. And so you can see from the range in time and justice sale prices towards the bottom of the comparable sales sheet, the sale prices range from $546,400 up to $591,300. In this case, I do feel that comparable one is the most comparable property to the subject property with a sale price of $574,000. And so I do think that the assessment value is reasonable in this case. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just want to confirm there is no applicant present.
There is not.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for the assessor?
One, were there any building permits taken out on this property?
Let me just check my notes. So this property had an electrical permit taken out in 2022 to remove all knob and tube electrical wiring. There was also an air conditioning permit taken out. A heat pump was installed in 2021 for to get air conditioning at this property. And then other than that, there were some renovations done, renovating kitchen, some renovations to the bathroom and new flooring, but no specific permits for those renovations.
Is there any value attached to those permits at all?
The air conditioning permit had a $2,000 value, and I didn't make a note of the electrical value permit. I don't think it was that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Mr. Marks, are those all your questions?
Oh, that was it, please. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you that well. Yeah, okay. Mr. Robinson, do you have any questions?
I have no questions at this time.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I have no questions either, and there is no applicant present. So, Ms. Nichols, do you have the need to summarize at this time?
No, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we can move on to the second matter on the docket.
All right, I brought him back into the room.
Okay, good morning. The next matter on the docket is 104 Stan Bailey Drive. Would you
I will
please?
refer applicant.
Thank you.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
My full name is Amos Otieno Ondiek.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I affirm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Nichols, please proceed with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. So the subject property is 104 Stan Bailey Drive. Roll number is 030929808885. This property is located in the neighborhood of South Point. It is a two-story home, and I'll just bring your attention to the building code, which is secondary unit. That means that there's a kind of a separation between the main home and basement in this home. Year built, this property is built in 2016, living area of 1,980 square feet. This property has a full basement, which, as I mentioned, is finished and has its own entrance. 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 3 showers, air conditioning, and an attached multiple car garage. The lot size for this property is 4,578 square feet, and the current 2023 assessed value is $570,000, or just over $287 a square foot. So the first comparable that I brought today is 268 Cherrywood Road. This property is located in a neighboring area, Bridgewater Trails. And I do usually try to stick within the same area when I'm looking at comparables, but the reason that I brought comparable 1 today is because it also has a secondary unit in the basement. So although it's not in the immediate neighborhood, it is very close by, and I do think that that is a relevant consideration. So the year built for comparable 1 is 2018. Living area is 1,648 square feet, so it is quite a bit smaller than the subject property. This property has a full basement, which is finished, 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, a shower, air conditioning, and no garage for this property on Cherrywood. The lot area is 4,000 square feet, and the time adjusted sale price towards the bottom of the comparable sales sheet is $471,500. So, and then just looking at the time adjusted sale price, $286.10 per square foot. So in this case, I will draw your attention to the per square foot sale price, just because this property is quite a bit smaller. But as I said, I felt the secondary unit was relevant, and there are not very many sales of properties that have, secondary units. So I felt this was the best one that I could find. So looking at that time adjusted sale price per square foot, it is pretty much right on with the subject assessment value per square foot. So I just wanted to note that. Comparable number 2, 23 Needlehurst Place, is in the same neighborhood as the subject property. 2-story, built in 2010, 1,924 square feet, has a full basement, which is finished, multiple attached garage. Lot area is larger than the subject property, 6,652 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable number 2 was $653,400. Comparable number 3, 19 Switchgrass Cove, also located in the same area as the subject property. 2-story home built in 2013, 1,973 square feet, full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, multiple attached garage. Again, lot area, which is larger than the subject property, 6,898 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable number 3 is $630,000. And finally, comparable number 4, 323 Stan Bailey Drive, of course, in the same area as the subject property. 2-story home built in 2015, 1,939 square feet. This property has a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, multiple attached garage, does have a larger lot, 8,435 square feet. And it also has a negative property influence of heavy traffic. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable number 4 is $571,600. So looking at the time adjusted sale prices of comparables 2 through 4, basically ranging from $571,000 up to $603,000. I do believe that the subject property falls within a reasonable range, just at the lower end of the range of comparables that I was able to find, which have similar square footage, similar features and attributes, and in the same neighborhood. And then the comparable number 1, which I brought to show the value of the secondary unit, again, just looking at that time adjusted sale price per square foot. Again, I find that the value of the property with the secondary unit is supported as well. So I do think that the value for the subject property at $570,000 is reasonable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ondiak, do you have any questions for the assessor about the evidence she has presented?
Yes, my argument is going to be based on the square footage, which is 1,980, because the square footage has not changed.
Sorry, Mr. Ondiak, you'll get a chance to give your presentation in a
Okay.
few minutes. This is just a chance for everyone to ask the assessor questions about her
Oh.
presentation. So if you have
Okay.
questions about what she presented, now's your time to ask the questions. And then all of the panel members get to ask her questions, and then you can do your presentation.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I don't have much to say to the evidence which he has really given because I don't
Okay.
have the fact sheets with me to do the comparables. So there I don't have any question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Yes, just one. What is your best comparable?
I think in this case, I would lean towards both comparable 1 using the time adjusted sale price per square foot because it has that secondary unit, as well as comparable 4 because although it does have the negative traffic influence, it is on the same street as the subject property. But those I think would be the 2 that I would choose.
But the lot size on 4 is considerably large.
It is, yeah. And it does have that negative traffic influence, which would, be a negative influence to the property. But, there are no perfect comparables, right? I think despite that, I think that it still shows the value in the area for a property of that size with those features. On the low end, in fact.
No,
Sorry,
we're,
sorry, Mr. Marks and Mr. Robinson, when you're speaking, can you lean into the microphone? Because when you're facing the camera, we can't hear you very well because microphones don't pick it up that well. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, sorry. I know it's like you think you want to look at the camera, but then the microphone's the side of your head.
Okay. I've got no further questions. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Robinson, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Yes, just generally, is it common to raise the assessment when there's a secondary suite property? I haven't seen that before, so this is new to me. So is it common for that value to be assessed because there's somebody living in my basement?
So in this case, I think that it was not only the secondary unit that was the reason for the increase in value. The property didn't have a finished basement, and then a finished basement was added onto it. I'm not sure. I'm not actually the one that made the change, so I don't know if I could separate out what caused the increase in value or what percentage each change had. But I think going from not having a finished basement to having a finished basement would show an increase in value for sure.
Thank you. That's my only question.
Okay, thank you. And I have no questions at this time. So Mr. Ondiak, please proceed with your presentation now.
Yes, my presentation is really based on the property footage because the property footage indicates that it's supposed to be 1,980, and though the basement has really been developed, the square footage has not increased. So my argument is that if the square footage has not increased, then why raise the value of the property? That one is point number 1. Point number 2, I went to the comparables in the market region number 8, page 65 of 90. If you check the ones which I've really ticked, I've compared the one with the Perry Sky, though it is not it's not near the Stanberry. The sale price, the sale price was the sale price was 485, and the price was really adjusted. It's the same. I think it's the same storage. It's 520. The time adjustment for sale price was 522,300. If you come to Southview, Craig is a two storage, and the sale was done in 2020, and the price was 505, Then the price, the time adjusted for sale price was 527,200. If you come down again to Stan Bailey now, the Stan Bailey 125 Stan Bailey Drive is a two-story building. The sale year was 2020, and the sale price was 500,000 and 500.
Mr. Ondiak, you have frozen.
Hello, are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you now, but for a couple minutes there, a few seconds there, you had frozen.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, if we check the house number 125, Stan Bailey Drive, is a two-story building. The sale year was 2020. The sale price was 510, and the time of adjustment for sale was 525,800. So I was just checking the comparables in the neighborhood. Another one was the house number 218, Stan Bailey Drive, is a two-story, the same as ours. The sale year was 2020, and the sale price was 535,000, and the sale price was 558,500. We go again into the Stan Bailey Drive 315 is a two-story building, 2020, the sale. And then the sale price was 508,000. And the sale price was 520,700. Yeah, so those are the comparables which I was really comparing with ours, which the sale price has been adjusted to 570. Yet, if you refer to the letters which we really receive, we receive a letter which is really indicating that we are going to pay a tax of 606 by tip. And if you check another letter which we really got again, we got another letter which is really indicating. Let me check. Yeah, we got if you check the assessment tax evaluation supplementary notice, it's really indicating that to be paid by tip, we are going to pay 792.88. So we were really surprised from 412 to 606 and then to $792.88. I've finished.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ms. Nichols, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I do have a couple of questions. So I guess just maybe going back to the properties that you had selected as comparable properties. Maybe I'll just focus on the ones that you mentioned. So there are quite a few that had some check marks there. So I'll just focus on those three on Stan Bailey Drive. Do you know, in terms of the characteristics of those properties, do any of those properties have finished basements?
I didn't go into details of checking or walking around to go and check the basement because it's a confidentiality, so I cannot just walk there and ask the person, the people concerned.
Okay, so there are a few like when the assessments are being created, there are some characteristics that are kind of that often come up in terms of adding value to a property. So we are looking at market value. That means what would the property sell for on the open market. And there are some characteristics, there are some property characteristics that we do generally see as contributing to the value. So a couple of those things in a newer neighborhood like South Point, there are a couple of things that would kind of jump to mind in terms of increasing the value of the property. One of those things is whether the property has a finished basement or not. So I think that would be relevant to know. And the other thing is if the property has a garage, because there are some properties that either don't have a garage or they have a detached garage versus it's an attached garage in that area. So that would be another thing I'd be interested to know. Do you know whether any of these properties have garages?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other question that I guess I was kind of came to mind when I was looking at the properties is what the size of each one of these properties are. So are these properties of a similar size to your property, or are they smaller, larger?
I hope they are of the same size because the price really falls the same range, the same as with ours.
Right. Okay. All right. I think those were the main questions that I had. Yeah, I think that was all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Do any of these comparables that you've been stating, have they got secondary suites in them?
As far as I know, I'm not aware, but I was just following the sale data sheet, which I was really basing my argument.
Okay. And the other thing, I know the assessor brought it up as well, but your property has a multiple attached garage. Do any of your comparables have multiple attached garages?
I hope so that they do have, because the houses which are really being built here must have a garage.
They do have a garage?
Yes.
And is it a multiple, like a two-car garage?
Yes, they do have.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Yes, maybe the applicant can answer this. Do you know what generated the adjustment letter that you got on January the 11th, 2023? Maybe the assessor knows that more.
Can I carry on?
Just go ahead and answer the question. That's fine.
Okay. Yes, I don't know what really made it to be to generate it, because the first letter which we really received was really indicating that we are going to pay a proper the property tax from 412 to 606. And then we got another letter which is really indicating that we are going to pay a tax of 790. Let me quote the correct figure. $792.88. So I don't know what really caused that jump.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, sorry. We couldn't hear you. Did you? The committee room's on mute. Okay, there. Try it now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Sorry.
I had asked or tried to ask if you knew what generated the letter, the reassessment letter from the city.
Yes, and Mr. Ondiak, I believe, answered that.
We didn't hear.
Oh, you didn't hear. Okay, sorry. We heard it.
Excuse me, I apologize. We suddenly lost the feed. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is on our end.
Sorry, and we didn't know because it was still carrying on from.
Yeah, I apologize.
Sorry, Mr. Ondiak, the hearing room lost the feed, so could you please repeat your answer to Mr. Robinson, please?
Yes. What I
Thank
was
you.
really, sorry about it. What I was really trying to say is that we got a letter which is really indicating that we are going to pay a tax of $606. Then later, again, we got another letter which we are going to pay $792.88, which I really submitted to you people on the assessment and tax evaluation. So my yes, after that is when now I really wrote back a letter indicating that why is it that our property taxes keep on jumping from 412 to 606, then to 798.88. So what really caused the jump? That one I don't know. Maybe it is because of the basement suite which we really which we really developed, and yet the square footage still remains the same as 1,980. The land has not increased. It's the same. It is the same land which is there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Robinson, do you have any further questions?
I took it to mean that the reason you got that was because of the improvement in the basement. Is that correct?
Yeah, we improved the basement. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
No
Okay,
more.
thank you. My question.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I could just interrupt. I pulled up the notes from when the changes were made. So did you want me to just, the question was what caused the increase in value? Did you want me to speak to that or?
If Ms. Nichols has the answer for Mr. Robinson, then.
So when the permit was taken out to change the, called a change of use permit. So it changes just from a single family home to a home that has kind of two separate parts. As I said, the basement has its own entrance, so it's different than just kind of finishing the basement in, the standard just single family home. That, kind of provides an opportunity for some rental income to rent out that basement since it has its own entrance, its own. So let me just tell you. So the changes that were made is the property was changed to secondary unit. So taking into account this kind of secondary space in the home, there was a bathroom added, shower. The size of the deck was increased as per the information that we got from a mailer that was sent out, and the basement finish was added. So there were quite a few changes that were all made at the same time, which would have all contributed to the increase in value. And I had made a note of what exactly the change of use was, what exactly was included in the change of use. So this is from the permit, change of use of an existing single family dwelling, create a secondary suite in the lower level, including 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 bathroom, and a kitchen. Create a new door opening on the south side for the secondary unit, for the secondary suite, structural, electrical, and plumbing work to be done. So it's more than just, finishing the basement in kind of the traditional way that you might picture for a home. It's including really like an extra living space in the home, complete with its own kitchen, bedrooms, living room, bathroom, etc.
Thank you. That answers my question.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I have no questions at this time. Is there a need for summary from either party? Nope.
No, I've said everything. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ondiak.
Can I ask a question or a summary?
Well, do you have a question that has arisen from Ms. Nichols' answer to Mr. Robinson's question?
Yes, I'm just concerned with we still don't know whether we are going to pay the 606. I know the appeal is going to decide, or we are going to pay 792, or is going to be reduced. That one, we leave it to the board.
Just to clarify, we don't deal with the amount of property tax you pay here. Right here, you're appealing the assessment amount. So once we
Okay.
make our decision, you'll receive the decision and you should receive a letter regarding the tax amount. But yeah, we have nothing to do with the actual taxes paid here. It's just the assessment value.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. No, I don't think anyone here can answer that for you at this time. Sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's a common question. Okay. Thank you very much. So leave it with us and you'll receive our decision in the mail.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much and have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. The next matter we will move on to on the docket this morning is 56 Willowbrook Road. We'll start with file number 224856. Are you going to be doing these separately or together? Because the same address is twice on the docket.
Yeah, so it's the same address. It is two separate, it will be two separate sets of comparable properties. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just go over the subject property one time if that's okay, and then go through the comparable separately.
Sure. So we'll just do the subject property information with 22-4856, which is number 3. Do the comps for number 3, and then when we get to number 4, you can just go through the comparables. Okay. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Perfect. So, Ms. Nichols, please proceed when you're ready.
Okay. So the subject property is 56 Willowbrook Road. Roll number is 030929839195. So this file 22-4856 is regarding the 2022 assessment value. So the subject property is located in Bridgewater Lakes. It's a 2-story built in 2019, living area of 2,638 square feet. It has a walkout basement, which is finished. Central air conditioning, a multiple attached garage, and an in-ground pool. Lot size of 13,462 square feet, and land influences of hydro, transformer box, and retention pond adjacent. So that's a positive land influence, means it's backing onto a retention pond. The current 2022 assessment value for this property is $1,172,000. So the comparables that I've brought today are 2 are located in Bridgewater Lakes, and the last 2 are located in South Point, which is an adjacent neighborhood. This is just due to needing to find comparables that have a walkout basement, which is the same as the subject property, as well as having that retention pond influence. I think those are 2 very important factors in the value of this property. So all of the comparable properties are 2-story properties, ranging in year built between 2014 up to 2016. So they're all a little bit older than the subject. Living areas ranging from 2,621 square feet up to 2,940 square feet. So that would be a little bit larger than the subject property. All have walkout basements, which are finished. All have multiple attached garages and air conditioning. None of the comparable properties have an in-ground pool, where the subject property does. Assessed lot size for the comparables ranges from 10,497 square feet up to 18,867 square feet. So on the lower end, at 10,000 square feet, that's smaller than the subject property. At 18,000 square feet, that's larger lot than the subject property. And comparables 1, 2, and 3 all have retention pond adjacent, which is the same as the subject property. Comparable number 4 has retention pond influence. So that just means that instead of backing directly onto the retention pond, it's kind of off to the side. So still nearby, you can still see it. It's still a factor in the value of that property, but not directly on the retention pond. And then if I can just direct your attention down to the time adjusted sale price for each of the comparable sales. The time adjusted sale prices range from $980,500 up to $1,222,800. So I do think that the subject property falls in line with the comparable sales. And I think the value is reasonable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for Ms. Nichols?
None for me, thank you.
Mr. Robinson?
I noticed that the, which comparable do you think is the closest in your mind?
I guess if I just narrowing down to one comparable, I do like the comparable number 3 is the closest in size. The other comparables are larger, especially the 2 that are in the same neighborhood. So I guess I like that about comparable 3, and so I'm looking at that time adjusted sale price, and yeah. Oh, sorry, you're frozen. I can't.
Oh, there. Like I can hear you fine. So
Oh,
sorry.
Can't hear anything from the committee room.
No, the committee room is frozen. I was just writing and listening to you, and I didn't even know. Oh, there. Mr. Robbins, sorry, can you hear us now? Nope. They're frozen again. Usually it's the people on Zoom who freeze up, not the committee.
Yeah.
I'm just going to email them.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, I think they might be back now.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
this video unfreeze.
I saw her walking. Let's see.
I apologize, Madam Chair. This is an ongoing issue and the network people are working on it, but there's nothing I can do. I apologize.
No, listen, it happens. No problem. We were just commenting that usually it's the people on Zoom who freeze, not the committee room. So it's a nice change.
Madam Chair, did you hear my question?
You asked which was the best comparable, or correct?
Yes. And then my secondary question was, our subject property has an total assessment per square foot of 444 per square feet.
Mm-hmm.
And your best comparable you said was 3, which is 396 per square foot. My question was, does the swimming pool result in this higher value per square foot?
So I do think that the swimming pool would be contributing to the increase in value. But looking at comparable 3, one, it's in a different neighborhood. It's in South Point instead of Bridgewater Lakes. So I think it is a comparable neighborhood, but not necessarily identical. South Point is further south than Bridgewater Lakes, like very close to the perimeter. The other thing is comparable number 3 was built in 2014 versus 2019. So it is 5 years older than the subject property. It is very close in square footage, but it is a little bit smaller and doesn't have the pool. And finally, the lot size is about 3,000 square feet smaller than the subject property. So I do think that all of those factors could also be influencing the value that we see in the subject, in the comparable sale price.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I have no questions. Do you have a need for a summary?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you very much. So we can move on to number 4, which again is 56 Willowbrook Road. However, it's the 2023 assessment. So I'm just going to open that up and please proceed when you're ready.
Okay, so yeah, again, 56 Willowbrook Road, same roll number 030929831995. This appeals regarding the 2023 assessed value. So the the subject characteristics are the same as for the 2022 assessed value appeal. So I won't go over those again, unless you would like me to. But
no, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. The comparables that I brought today for this for the 2023 assessment are different because we are looking at a different reference date. So comparable number 1 is in Bridgewater Trails, same as the subject property. It is a 2-story built in 2020, 2,703 square feet, so a little bit larger than the subject, but pretty close. Walkout basement, which is finished, multiple attached garage. Again, this property has no in-ground pool. None of the comparables do. The assessed lot size is 14,914 square feet. So it's pretty close in size in terms of lot size to the subject property. It does have retention pond adjacent, same as the subject property. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable 1 was $1,048,000. Comparable number 2, 42 Willowbrook Road. Again, it's on the same street as the subject property, so in the same neighborhood. 2-story, built in 2018. The living area is 2,827 square feet, so it is larger than the subject property. Walkout basement, which is finished. Air conditioning, multiple attached garage, no pool, as I pointed out before. Lot size of 11,704 square feet. So a little bit of a smaller lot than the subject property. It does have retention pond adjacent, which is the same as the subject property, and a time adjusted sale price of $1,167,700. Comparable number 3, 68 Clear Spring Road, which is in the same neighborhood as the subject property again. It is a 2-story built in 2013. Living area of 2,986 square feet, so it is larger than the subject property and has a walkout basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a multiple attached garage. Again, no pool. A lot size of 12,853 square feet, a little bit smaller than the subject. This property has retention pond adjacent in terms of land influences. It's the same as the subject property there. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable number 3 is $1,224,500. And finally, comparable number 4, 118 Lake Bend Road, in the same area as the subject property. 2-story, built in 2015. Living area of 2,840 square feet. Has a walkout basement, which is finished. Air conditioning, multiple attached garage, no pool. Lot size of 7,512 square feet. So the lot size is quite a bit smaller than the subject property. Has the hydro transformer box influence and a retention pond influence. So again, this property that just means it's not directly backing onto the retention pond, but it is nearby. And the time adjusted sale price for comparable number 4 is $1,069,000. So when I was looking at the comparables for this property, I was thinking that the value could probably come down for this property, so I was going to make a recommendation. So I'm going to recommend that the value for this property is reduced from $1,262,000 down to $1,100,000.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for the assessor?
After that reduction, I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson?
I have no questions.
Nor do I. So thank you very much. Does anyone need a short recess or should we just move on to the last one?
I'm okay just to move on.
Mr. Robinson, Mr. Marks?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So we can move on. The last matter on the docket is number 6. Or you just let me, it's just loading it. All right. That is 38 Tudor Crescent. So Ms. Nichols, please proceed when you're ready.
Okay, so the subject property, 38 Tudor Crescent, roll number is 0205061400. This property is located in the neighborhood area of Munro East. It is a 1-story home built in 1959. It does have an effective year build of 1974, so it has some renovations and upgrades. Living area of 1,048 square feet. Finished basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. Lot size for the subject property is 6,044 square feet, and the current 2023 assessment value is $322,000. So the comparable properties that I have brought today are all in the same neighborhood, all in Munro East. They're all 1-story properties built around the same time as the subject property. So comparable one was built in 1958, has an effective year built of 1988, which has a similar level of renovation to the comparable property. Comparable number 2 was built in 1957 with an effective year built of 1967. This property has had not much in the way of renovations. Comparable 3, a year built in 1959, no effective year built for this property. And same with comparable number 4, built in 1969 with no effective year built. The comparable properties all have full basements, which are finished, all have air conditioning, and all have single detached garages. Lot sizes range from 4,190 square feet, that's comparable 3, all the way up to 5,745 square feet, that is comparable 1. So all of the lot sizes are smaller than the subject property. Comparable 1 and comparable 2 both have negative property influences. Comparable 1 has bus route and medium traffic. Comparable 2 has external corner and light traffic. And the time adjusted sale prices for the comparable properties range from $323,800 up to $346,200. So looking at the range of comparable sales and comparing those to the 2023 assessment value of $322,000, I do find that this property is definitely within the range the sale prices are showing, and is actually even towards the low end in terms of value. So I think that no change is necessary for this property. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions? Oh, I think they're frozen again.
Oh no.
Okay, they're completely gone. Okay. I don't know when they froze. They heard it.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, video is back.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, we can see and hear you again now. How much of Ms. Nichols' presentation did you guys hear? Because she has finished. So do we need her to repeat some or did you hear it?
I heard all I needed.
I heard everything I needed as well. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So then, Mr. Marks, do you have any questions for Ms. Nichols?
No questions from me. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson?
I have no questions either. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nor do I. All right. So we have heard all the items scheduled at this hearing, and the hearing is now adjourned. So thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.